Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we're going to dive into an explanation video and talk and discussion about the mage CDR build that's been kind of going around. So recently I saw a comment or like a message in chat or something on a stream, and someone was asking me just like, what's making this build so strong? Why are people running Shell Bell? Was it buffed? Blah, 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 blah. And I figured for people that haven't been tuned in exactly, haven't seen every little bit of changes or understand this, maybe would want to know. So I'm going to explain the full black and green build, the CDR mage build, and why it's good and who this kind of a build might be good on. So first and foremost, we're here on UniteDB looking at Cramorants, and I want to talk about the built-in CDR that characters get. So not every character, but some characters like Cram at level 5 will get 5% CDR, level 9, 15% CDR, and then level 13, 25% CDR. So Cram just gets up to 25% CDR no matter what. The CDR build is going to give you an additional 8%, lowering your cooldowns, and then with items, you can actually bring that cooldown up another 4.5%, and with one more item, the energy amplifier, another 4.5%. So 9% plus 8% plus 25% is 42% cooldown reduction, on top of the fact, and this is why it's so good for a couple Pokemon, on top of the fact that you have abilities that can lower cooldowns. So Air Slash, this move's cooldown is reduced by 0.5 seconds for each blade that it hits. So, or for each blade that hits. So you look at characters like Delphox as well. You have same thing, 25% cooldown reduction at some point. Mystical Fire also reduces cooldowns of all moves if this move hits by 1 second. If it hits an enemy from the opposing team, cooldowns are reduced even further, 1.5 seconds at level 11 for Mystical Fire. So Delphox, Cram, really the big hitters when it comes to the full CDR build. And when I say the full CDR build, I mean the black-green page, I mean the character has CDR themselves, and they're running CDR items. So who all would this be good on, and what kind of variations of the green-black build could you run? So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. So again, first and foremost, definitely the best in my opinion on Cram Delphox. You can use this kind of a build on someone like Blissey, Venusaur, Pikachu, basically any SP kind of character, Blastoise. The question is, how much of that CDR do you want to step into? Do you want to change the held item build? You know, Blissey gets 10% built in, so yeah, you could bring an additional 9%, or you could play a much more traditional Blissey build. So let's go ahead and dive into the builds that I've created, because I created two green-black builds to show it to you, and I'm going to explain the differences and why I would use them on who and what they fully are. So this is the Mage CDR build. This is the one that I built specifically for mages. I'm going to go through all the emblems, why I picked the ones that I picked, but first let's look at the effects. So the passives are 8% CDR, 4% SP attack. I didn't go for any other colors. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but this is for this setup with all golds and one bronze for Victory Bell. It gives you HP plus 100, attack minus 9, SP attack plus 9, defense minus 5, SP defense minus 8, speed plus 105, and minus 1% crit. So if you look at it, it gives us health, which is great. It gives us SP attack, which for mages is great. It gives speed, which is great. And all the negatives are pretty minuscule. Minus 9 attack, we don't care on a mage. Minus 1% crit, we don't care on a mage. And then small defense minuses. So I know we don't have full golds yet, but this is what you should be striving for. As for the reason why I picked the bronze Victory Bell, let me go ahead and pull this up. This is a spreadsheet that you can use to build out the different Pokemon in the game, of the different emblems. Victory Bell brings plus attack. So right here you can see the +1 attack for minus SP defense. So if I was to change this, it would just be a slightly higher attack value, but for more minus SP defense. Well, we don't care about attack stat. We're just using Victory Bell on this page for the sake of having a green-black emblem. So green-black emblem, we just want the Victory Bell at bronze, just so it reduces our SP defense by 3, but it's only going to give us 1 attack, because we don't actually care about attack stat. So raising that up to silver or gold doesn't actually help us much. So this is the full Mage CDR build. Now, for the next build, well, this is the CDR emblem page. You would have to run the items if you want the full CDR build. And like I said, I think that's good on some Pokemon, but not necessarily necessary. Now, this is the tank CDR build. So this would be for like slightly tankier variant, and I mostly see this being run on someone like maybe like Slowbro or Blastoise or Blissey or maybe even Eldegoss if you really wanted to. But essentially, I swapped out a few of the emblems. I brought a bronze Beedrill for similar reasons. You don't really need the minus big 50 health for like the SP defense that it brings, so you can just keep more health and you know, bring less SP defense by bringing bronze. Same thing with Victory Bell, same thing, bronze. And this one, we actually bring Slowbro. So he's a dual colored, he's purple and blue, I believe. We bring Tentacle, which is black and blue, so that hits 2 blues. And then we have the purple from Slowbro plus the purple from Gengar brings us the second purple. So let's go ahead and read this one. This one's a little bit, like I said, tankier focused. HP plus 70, -7 attack, plus 6 SP attack, 0 defense change, plus 5 SP defense, plus 35 speed, and -2% crit. Again, we don't care about crit, we don't care about attack, and this one actually brings a little bit of defenses, a little bit of health, a little bit of SP attack, and a little bit of speed. But what it changes in the passives is that we're going to get that plus 2% defense and plus 2% SP defense. So this is a small change from this page to this page, but you can see this one's a little bit more damage focused, has move speed, has less defenses, so squishier damage focused. This one is a little bit tankier. It has less flat health on it, but a little bit tankier because it's going to bring some defenses, and yeah, so slightly different pages. So you can see the different green-black builds that I think that we should be going for. And for the sake of saying, for other tanks, there probably is a better way to optimize a black build that has some like attack in it potentially. I haven't done that. So if you're trying to play like a black build for, say, like Aegislash, who has some built-in crit, and let's go ahead and take a look at that actually. Aegislash, I don't think would be a terrible option for a potential CDR build because Aegislash actually does get 20% cooldown reduction. So for Aegislash, I could see you maybe running like a black build on, but you would have to plan one for that. For any other tanks like Mamoswine or Snorlax, you would have to, you know, plan for it because they use attack stat. But these are just the ones that I've brought that are a little bit more SP focused, that actually hit that green and black. So friends, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I really wanted to explain this build and do my best to give reasons why you would take it. I think now I'd like to kind of talk about what Pokemon I think should run the full SP, or like the full cooldown reduction build, the true full one. The only ones I really feel like are the best with it are Cram and Delphox. I think Sylveon Mystical Fire feels pretty good with it, but there's not a lot of Pokemon that bring a ton of like really good cooldown reduction in their kits. So reducing their cooldowns by 42%, if you can hit that number, is still pretty good, but you also have to realize that when you're doing that, you're sacrificing damage. So characters like Delphox and Cram, who reduce their own cooldowns, they make up for that damage loss by being able to spam abilities a little bit more often, but I don't think that every Pokemon does that. So let's look at attackers specifically. For Cramorant, I think it's great. For Delphox, I think it's amazing. For Espeon, I think it's okay. I might just run a traditional build on Espeon. For Gardevoir, I'm like 50-50 on. Like reducing her cooldowns, it feels fine, but I also like hitting really, really hard. So running like double glasses, EAMP, double glasses, Buddy Berry, or something like that. Glaceon, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to me to not just run some strong damage items. Muscle Buddy is really, really good on Glaceon, so I don't think that I'm going to run Shell Bell, EAMP. Venusaur, yeah, you do have cooldown reduction with Petal Giga, but at the same time, you also want to be tanky and survive. So I think I'm going to keep my Venusaur build standard. And with Ninetales Pikachu, I'm not sure that I'm a huge fan of it. With Pikachu, it didn't feel great to me to play. Sylveon, like I said, was okay. With Ninetales, it wasn't terrible. I think it's like a 50-50 on, like, saying someone like Ninetales Gardevoir. And then at the same time, it's preference-based. You're still going to do damage if you bring this build. Just kind of giving my thoughts on it and what I think would be best. So, friends, thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Which of these two variants you'd be interested in playing? Do you have a black 7 CDR variant that has maybe attack or a little bit more attack stat focus, just in the, like, you know, the flat stats here? But ultimately, I'd say these are two builds that you could emulate, that are or copy, use, that are very, very good, and I would love to know your thoughts. So thank you so much for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe for future Pokemon Unite content. As always, be sure to be kind to one another, tell someone you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.